And amidst my crazy day, Disney decided to drop quite the bomb. I think most people will be excited about this Disney news. Essentially, Genie Plus is no more, and if I said it my way, I would say we have just returned to FastPass Plus, and you're just going to pay for it now. It's essentially the same thing as it used to be, a little bit different, and it has a different name. I'm going to make a much more comprehensive video about all the changes and do a deep dive into it. But just to give you a quick once-over, it is now going to be called Lightning Lane Multi-Pass and Lightning Lane Single Pass. The Lightning Lane Single Pass is essentially replacing the individual Lightning Lanes. It's the same thing, they just changed the name to go with the other one. And the Lightning Lane Multi-Pass is our new version of Genie Plus and FastPass Plus. You are going to be able to book 3 per day passes in advance of your trip, 7 days ahead of your trip if you stay at a Disney resort, and 3 days ahead of your trip if you're staying off property. So this is pretty big news. What's not news is that people were frustrated with Genie Plus. They were frustrated mostly with the ease of use and the fact that you couldn't pre-plan anything. So this eliminates one of those problems at least. You can now pre-plan a lot of things. And you still don't necessarily have the ease of use. You're still going to have to book the rest of your passes on your park days on the app, just like you did with Genie Plus. But you will get to plan a big chunk of that, an important chunk of that in advance, which should relieve some stress from a lot of people. This is also something that becomes a huge benefit for staying at a Disney resort. If you're staying at a Disney resort on property, you'll get to book these passes in advance, 3 a day for the length of your stay, 7 days in advance of your trip. If you're not staying on Disney property, you will only get to book this 3 days in advance of your trip. So that is a huge difference. That's a game changer. That is a massive reason to consider staying on Disney property. It gives the people staying on property a huge advantage in the passes that they're going to choose for their trip versus what will be left for the guests staying off property at the 3-day mark. It's a pretty big new thing. These changes also take effect July 24th, if I didn't say that yet, which is a month from now. That does not give people a lot of time to get it together if you have an upcoming trip and this is going to impact your vacation. That is one more great reason why you should use a travel advisor. I have already reached out to any of my clients that are traveling. I've reached out to my clients that are traveling anytime in July just to let them know, like, hey, this doesn't affect you. Everything I've already taught and told you about Genie Plus still stands. Or if you're after July 24th, I reached out to you today and let you know how this impacts your trip if you're traveling in July or August. I reached out to those clients immediately, get them up to speed, let them know how I'm going to help them, how I'm going to book these passes for them in advance. We're going to have a conversation about which ones are most important to them. I'll know what backup passes they want, and I'm here to hold their hand through these changes and this big bomb that Disney dropped on upcoming vacations. So tomorrow I'll finish reaching out to the rest of my clients that are end of August and into September and on through the rest of the year. They will be getting an email from me with information about this update, how I'm going to help them get through this, the impact it's going to have on their vacation, and I'm there for them for any questions that they have, and they don't really have to be stressed about it. So that is an awesome reason to use a travel agent for times like this, because honestly, we never know when Disney's going to make a change or drop a bomb like this. Whether it's a good bomb or a bad bomb, whether you like this change or not, it is still a big change. And if you didn't have someone to turn to and you're checking in a month at Disney World and you had a whole game plan for Genie Plus and then this happens, it can be a little stressful.